You get to decide what kind of king you are going to be.
I could have just peed on it.
Black Panther and Aquaman are very similar movies. They're both about superheroes fighting their relatives to rule an imaginary kingdom.
I never yielded!
Well then by bloodshed, do the gods make known their will.
But Aquaman is just a good superhero movie.
I should have come aboard.
While Black Panther is going to be remembered as a high point of the genre for years to come. Now I want to make this clear from the top. I like both of these movies, but for very different reasons. Aquaman is fun, stupid, dump out your action figures in the bathtub and bash them together kind of fun. There's crab people, an octopus plays the drums, Mary Poppins is a kraken.
Who are you?
And Jason Momoa is having more fun than a cat with a laser beam. But Black Panther has moments where it transcends being a mere blockbuster and becomes, well, a nominee for the Best Picture Academy Award. So why is that? Well, I think you can boil down the differences to one scene that shows why one is this and the other is more like this. First, let's go over the similarities. Both are a superhero solo film following the hero's first appearance in a team-up movie. Each hero is of royal blood and becomes king of his nation. These nations are far-off places away from the known world and are composed of diverse groups who come together to support the new king. Each hero is also trained by an older mentor figure who is a friend of the hero's parent. They also have special abilities that set them apart from their people, and they use these superpowers to help outsiders. To become king, they each end up dueling a close relative. The hero loses this duel and is exiled from the kingdom. Afterwards, they have a reckoning with their lost parent who motivates them to become king once again. Now, with the help of powerful women, they gain new powers that they can use to fight for the throne. A civil war erupts between the two sides, pitting the kingdom's factions against each other. Each side uses native animals for combat in this battle. Both of these kings see themselves as a victim and want to use the power of the throne to right global wrongs. This places the entire world at risk. The war is settled by a personal conflict between the two men. Afterwards, the hero takes their rightful place as king with plans to help the outside world. So what is the scene that sets these two films apart? Well, it's not just the scene, it's really the dramatic question. Why are we watching this story? Why should we care about who becomes king? And that question is apparent when the hero and villain duel for the first time. First, let's look at Black Panther's waterfall fight with Killmonger. And we've already watched a similar fight with M'Baku, which was framed more as a celebration. It's really T'Challa's coronation as king. He seems invincible in this fight. He shrugs off a wound, he overcomes his opponent, and then chooses not to kill him. This shows us that he's tough and compassionate.
Now your people need you.
Now this establishes the rules and setting of the waterfall fight and sets the stage for the duel with Killmonger. The previous scene neatly sets the stakes for this battle. Killmonger reveals that he is Wakandan and has rights to challenge for the throne.
I'm exercising my blood right. The challenge for the mantles of King and Black Panther.
In each movie, the fight comes down to desire. Here, T'Challa doesn't want to fight.
And we can handle this another way.
But Killmonger only wants to fight.
The whole country ain't gotta be there, I just need him.
He does this partially by calling out T'Challa's masculinity.
Serving justice to a man who stole your vibranium and murdered your people. Justice your king couldn't deliver.
Most importantly, he spells out exactly what he wants.
I want the throne.
His flesh even carries the memory of every life he's taken just to get to this point.
Just so I could kill you.
Killmonger is a victim of racial injustice, and he's angry at Wakanda for not helping the rest of the world.
Y'all sitting up here comfortable.
The first fight was waged in the light of day, and this one is set at dusk. There are no crowds to cheer them on. It's small, personal. This fight is his dream. Now notice, T'Challa carries a shield, showing that he's taking defensive posture in battle and hopes for a peaceful resolution.
This is your last chance. Throw down your weapons.
But Killmonger has a weapon in each hand and immediately goes on the attack. For every blow T'Challa attempts, Killmonger always strikes back. He's relentless, striking at T'Challa's shield, trying to wear him down with his rage. But then, when T'Challa gets the upper hand, he gives the enemy a chance to yield. Because he's not fighting to win, he's fighting not to lose.
I accept your challenge.
The key moment comes when Killmonger's rage overwhelms T'Challa and he slices his leg, making it harder for him to stand. And then Shuri cries out. T'Challa! This is crucial. Until this point, she's had full faith in her brother.
You can do this, T'Challa!
Now that she's worried, we're worried too. After Killmonger cuts T'Challa's ribs, we cut to Okoye. This fearless warrior is suddenly afraid. And then Killmonger disarms him and deals the lethal blow. One look at Chadwick Boseman's face and we know this fight is lost. Killmonger won't let T'Challa stand, and then he kills his mentor Zuri for interrupting the fight.
I'll take you both, Uncle James.
This is when we know that Killmonger is a being of pure rage. He doesn't care about Wakandan acceptance. He only wants revenge.
This is for my father.
This breaks T'Challa's spirit. Not only is he going to lose the fight, but he can't protect his people. He's not worthy to be king.
Is this your king? Huh?
And it's heartbreaking.
Come on, brother!
This isn't just T'Challa's loss, it's ours. Hope is dead. The bad guy has won. It's a great scene. So now let's look at this fight's counterpart in Aquaman.
Okay, I don't even know where to begin.
Unlike Black Panther, we haven't gotten several scenes establishing the people and culture of this kingdom. All of that comes later, long after the duel. So, just like in Black Panther, the duel takes place in front of an audience. But this time, it's a stadium complete with a booing crowd and a jumbotron of their stats. Now notice one of Arthur's stats says that he's a half-breed and a drunk, which is pretty funny and not wrong.
Whatever.
There's also a major technical problem with this fight and most of the battles in Aquaman. We never fully understand the mechanics of underwater combat. Now, because they filmed in front of a green screen and not in a water tank, the water never feels real. Fighting in water is hard to do, as proved several times by James Bond. But in this movie, we don't really know how these amphibious people are fighting underwater because we're not amphibious people and don't understand how they move around without actually swimming. Like, do they move faster in the water than normal people move on the surface? And how fast can they dodge or swim around? Whereas in Black Panther, we know the exact mechanics of the waterfall fight, in part because it's set in the surface and we all live in the surface. And also, we've already seen one of these duels play out. So in this movie, swimming is treated like flying. When Orange strikes the first blow, it doesn't feel real. It's like when Neo fights Agent Smith in Matrix Revolutions. With CGI, any fight move is possible, so it seems like they can dodge any blow. And if you can dodge any blow, then you're never really in danger. Anyways, Orn gets up a big burst of speed and propels Arthur around the stadium, bashing him into rocks. There's also moments where the movie seems to forget they're underwater, like when they fall into the lava. Or I guess Orn is pushing him down, but it's hard to tell the difference because he's not kicking his legs or anything. Like right here, when Arthur throws Orn into the lava. How does Orn stop? That's not how swimming works. Now I point all this out, not to nitpick,
Oh, yeah, totally.
but to establish that we don't know the fundamental rules of combat in this universe, so it's hard to understand who has the upper hand. Then they charge at one another, and we get this fun moment. But this shows us that the movie isn't worried about actual dramatic tension. This audience proxy is telling us that we're here for a good time. Now contrast this with the crowd in Black Panther, who exist to raise the dramatic stakes. And to be fair, we do get a few cutaways of Vulko and Mira looking worried, but since they both already said Arthur was going to lose, it's not like they had their hopes up.
A formidable fighter on land, but here you're out of your element, literally.
So they end up on a rock, where Orn finally wins by bashing Arthur really hard, similar to Killmonger's victory. Like Killmonger, Orn glows, but this time the worried female co-star intervenes and saves the hero's life.
You waiting for an invitation?
This scene is nowhere near the best fight in Aquaman. In fact, it's pretty underwhelming,
It's not me.
both as a fight and a personal conflict. That's because the characters are as poorly rendered as the CGI. It all comes down to why these characters are fighting, who wants it more, and what do they want. Before this fight, we have a scene where Arthur addresses the royal court. Like Killmonger, he does this as a prisoner. Both of these men are trying to become king, but as we'll see, Arthur's motivation isn't as strong as Eric's, and this robs emotion from the fight.
Invoking the combat of the kings?
Call it whatever you want. I call it an ass whooping.
Arthur doesn't want to be king. He stresses this all through the movie.
I am no king. I'm not a king. How many times do I have to tell you? I don't want to be king.
They tease the idea that the conflict is personal.
You were the reason our mother was executed. Yet I've hated you for it ever since.
Before quickly undercutting this idea.
But I do not want to kill you, Arthur.
So this is a fight between two emotionally mature adults who don't want to fight. Both these guys see combat as something they have to get out of the way, and so does the film. We have to get this fight out of the way because there's so much more movie after this, like Black Manta and guys riding sharks and fish with lasers, pew 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 pew. Whereas for Killmonger, becoming king was his only purpose in life, and the fight meant everything. It was personal. Orn is attacking the surface world because of pollution.
They have polluted our waters and poisoned our children.
But this motivation is never as clear or as personal as Killmonger's.
I found my daddy with panther claws in his chest. You ain't the son of a king, you a son of a murderer.
Neither Arthur nor Orn elicit this kind of sympathy. Now, maybe if we had a scene where an Atlantean village was destroyed by toxic waste or something, then we would understand Orn's point of view. But this movie doesn't want to present a morally gray villain, it wants you to have fun. And there's nothing wrong with that, but it really highlights how brave Black Panther is for having the guts to be more about something than smashy, smashy, smashy.
Just bury me in the ocean with my ancestors that jumped from the ships. Because they knew death was better than bondage.
Aquaman is a fun movie. James Wan is a fun director. He gave us this moment.
Daddy's gotta go to work.
But in 10 years, no one's going to be talking about Aquaman, and we'll still be wearing t-shirts that say Wakanda forever. Well guys, that's what I think. Let me know your comments down below. Which did you like better, Black Panther or Aquaman? And if it's your first time here, please subscribe. For Screen Crush, I'm Ryan Airy.